What's going on, everybody? RJ Ochoa here from SB Nation's bloggingtheboys.com. Hope all is well over you. We hope you're happy, safe, healthy, and I know the Dallas Cowboys are off on Sunday, but we wanted to give you something special to get you by. We had a very special interview happen on the Blogging the Boys podcast network, and we wanted to share it with the YouTube audience. This is audio only, but it is the NFL's all-time leading rusher. Emmitt Smith joins us right now. Enjoy. Welcome back to the SB Nation NFL show. I'm RJ Ochoa, and I am not alone. I am joined by Pro Football Hall of Famer, the all-time great, the NFL's all-time leading rusher, one of my absolute favorite players. He is a walking, talking legend. Emmitt Smith. Emmitt, thank you so much for taking the time to join the SB Nation NFL show.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
It's always great speaking to you, Emmitt, and I understand you're at Panini's VIP party as we're speaking on Saturday night, working with the exclusive trading card partner of the NFL. What's it like seeing your own Panini trading card? I'm sure you've never seen a trading card of yourself before.
It's been great. I mean, I obviously for years, as a young person, most people grow up and I never collected trading cards. I saw them, but I never really collected them. But then when you become a professional athlete and you start to see your name and your image on a piece of on a trading card and so forth, you start to really understand that there's a bigger industry beyond the game itself. And so this relationship that I've had with Panini over the last several years has been excellent. Work with them on various products, and I just enjoy the partnership right now.
No, I know you only choose to work with the best, and so it makes sense that you would have partnered up with Panini way back when. I think this would be a fun question to ask Cowboys fans, but it's even more fun to ask you. Is there a specific moment from your career that you would like to see on a Panini trading card?
That's a great question. I've had and enjoyed so many great moments. If I could have moments that I could share with 2,500 different fans, there might be something I can possibly drum up. I mean, I got ideas and thoughts, but, there's been great moments. Panini does a great job of capturing various moments of every athlete's career and put it on a trading card, and they get it out there. So it's quality product.
That's awesome. Well, so I was kind of playing around by asking that question to myself. If I could choose a moment for Emmitt, what would it be? And I think a lot of people would flock. I introduced you as the NFL's all-time leading rusher. You are the rushing king, Emmitt. I would pick that moment. I would love to, I've got a photo of that in my office.
That is a moment that could be memorialized. The NFL rushing title that day, I broke the record. I mean, there's probably so many images there that can be immortalized into a trading card that's very unique and very special. And, you never know. 25 years of an anniversary is coming up. I'm celebrating 20 years of anniversary on October 27th of this year. So it might be something we can work out. You know
what, Emmitt? I don't even need the cut. You know what I'm saying? I gave you the idea, but I just take the idea and run with it. All right. Just don't forget that I told it to you. It's all between you and Panini. Can you believe it's been 20 years? I do think that that's important.
Man,
it's crazy.
It is crazy. Time flies, and it waits for no person. And I think the older I get, the more I realize that it's moving quickly. I mean, I see my kids continuing to graduate from high school, go off to college, and graduate from college, and move on up the ranks. Yes, it's reminding me that I am getting older, and yes, that record is still standing too.
Well, I know you kept that jersey and that whole uniform in a warehouse that was chronicled on your episode of A Football Life. Great stuff that happened there. You mentioned your kids in college. I'm a Texas Aggie myself, so I'm a big fan of what you got going on, Emmitt, where your money's going to. As we bring it to the current Cowboys, Zeke Elliott is a player who many have sort of wanted and willed to sort of be Emmitt reincarnated. And I know that you've enjoyed Zeke and his career. Right. This has been a very interesting offseason as far as the way Cowboys fans perceive him. You and I are talking on Saturday, and earlier today, Jerry Jones said that Zeke has to be the focus of the run game. Do you agree with that, or do you think that Tony Pollard should be involved?
There's no doubt.
So you agree?
There's no doubt. I know. Yes, I do agree. 100%. Zeke Elliott is our number one guy and should be the focal point of the entire offense. I mean, at the end of the day, I love Tony Pollard, but Zeke is our 1, 2, 3 guy. The question becomes, how long can any man last in this league? Stephen Jones said it best. They don't make them like they used to. I mean, I'm old school throwback. It is what it is. First, second, and third down backs all day long. As AP would say, all day. That was us. Nowadays, it's running back by committee, and that's only by design. It's not saying that he cannot handle it. You got to put it in his hand to give him a chance to prove that he can.
I think that's well said. That kind of lends to, if I had to pick a different moment from your career for a Panini trading card, I'd pick, everybody knows that the road game in New York when your shoulder was all beat up. Very, very few running backs could do what you did that day. So again, I don't need to cut from that either, Emmitt. I'm just here to help you. On the subject of history, next week is the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and it's always a great kind of kickstarting to a new season beginning.
Right.
Last year, your head coach,
Right.
Jimmy Johnson, goes in. It's a huge, awesome Cowboys event, and I'm sure just chock full of memories. And it was then that Jerry Jones said on the Fox set with your boy Troy Aikman that Jimmy Johnson would be enshrined in the Ring of Honor. And here we sit a year later,
Right.
and Jerry's had opportunities to kind of add some detail to that, and he's chosen not to. Do you think this will happen? When do you think it'll happen? What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. There's no doubt it's going to happen. And Jimmy definitely deserved to be in the Ring of Honor. And I think Jerry will make that happen. It's just a matter of Jerry trying to find probably the most proper time to maximize the moment.
That's very well said. Certainly, that's you know that well as a member of this franchise for a very long time. What is next week like for you? I know that that's in the future, but you've been to the Hall of Fame enshrinement many different times. I was at your own personal enshrinement. Is it, not everybody who's up there has your resume? I mean, yeah, everybody's got a gold jacket, but not everybody's got Super Bowl rings, and nobody else has the NFL's all-time leading rushing title. Is it kind of an opportunity for you to flex or just visit with other greats of the game?
One thing about us athletes, man, and Hall of Famers, we don't flex on each other. We all there to enjoy each other. We all on the same team. We all understand the process that we all had to go through in order to get to that place. And so it's one of those moments where you're just grateful and thankful that you've been selected out of a handful of athletes who have ever played the game to end up in a place as special as King. Period.
That's awesome. Current Cowboys have a lot of greats on their team. Last time you and I spoke was the Super Bowl right before Tom Brady got his 7th ring, and you advocated for Dak Prescott getting paid. That has since happened. Have you, since your career has ended, or your playing career rather, have you seen another player like Dak in terms of how special he is to the locker room and how it's difficult to be a Cowboy? You understand that better than anybody else. But have you ever seen another player like
Right.
Dak Prescott?
No, not well. The only other one that I would say that stepped up and was a leader was Tim Tebow. And when you see young kids coming out of college taking on that mantle, Tim Tebow did it. Drew Brees was a guy in his huddle. There was many great leaders that stepped up, but Dak Prescott has been one of those guys that commanded his whole offense. And I think Joe Burrow is doing the same thing up in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think that's a great comp too. And people think one way of Tim Tebow, but as far as how he led a huddle, that's a great comparison there. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you for your thoughts on this season when it comes to the Cowboys, Emmitt. Obviously, you're going to guarantee a Super Bowl win, but I mean, how do you see this season unfolding? It's been a very strange
I'm
few months.
I'm going to leave the guarantee until a Super Bowl win to Michael Irvin. I'm going to just say our Cowboys have. And I said this many, many years in a row. It's not that we don't have the talent. The question is, can we become mentally tough enough and have the stamina to last an entire football season without making too many mistakes and capitalizing? When I look at my Cowboys, I'm looking at them in quarters. The first quarter of the season, which will be the first 4 weeks of the season, the second quarter, and are we making progression? Are we getting better? Are we eliminating mistakes as we continue to play games, or are we making the same old mistakes? And do we get lackadaisical and lose focus some point in time in the middle of the season to where we can never recover? Those are the things I'm looking for. Injuries are the one things that can hurt any team. But if you stay focused and stay committed and everybody's prepared to go in every week, we should be okay.
Last one for you, Emmitt. I know you're very busy. When it comes to Mike McCarthy, like I said, it's very difficult and very different to be associated with the Cowboys, to be the Cowboys running back, the Cowboys quarterback, and in Mike McCarthy's case, the Cowboys head coach. Yep. Everybody knows the storylines. Everybody knows what's been said and what's been written, and Sean Payton and whatnot. What if you could offer advice to Mike McCarthy for this season with everything hanging over his head? What would Emmitt Smith, the NFL's all-time leading rusher, say to him?
I would say to Mike McCarthy, like I would say to the Dallas Cowboys, y'all know what you need to do. You need to be mentally focused, mentally prepared, mental toughness, and then be physically ready at the same time. And then just run your race. Discount all the other noise because all this out here is just distractions. Stay focused on what you need to do as a team. Put everything else on the sideline, and then allow the chips to line up where they may. And at the end of the day, when you put all that together, you have something to be proud of. If you don't do that, just say this whole season was a waste.
That's a good philosophy for life in general. Run your race. I love that, Emmitt. It's great to see you're enjoying.